This is our first year having a garden, and we could not be more happy. We have gotten so many awesome vegetables. We're trying new things. And look at this daddy. Why is it so big?
I don't know. Like you're in between fences.
That is a cucumber. So what all did we grow this year?
We grew cucumbers, squash, zucchini, tomatoes, lots of peppers, and corn.
We got lots and lots of peppers. Our tomatoes are finally getting red, so we're putting them to use and making
Salsa. Here's the lid.
Would you look at that? Mmm, it's hot.
Okay.
Smell the heat.
That didn't make too much. Uh-oh, that's not good.
Looking around the seal.
Okay, you can turn it off.
Okay, so we went to a different option. Put it in the magic bullet. And that worked.
You really ground it up, huh?
Once you cook it down there,
It's
it'll...
nasty. And then we repeat the process. Okay, so we're adding all the peppers and onions to, I don't know what that is.
That's the tomatoes.
Tomatoes, yeah.
Oh, well.
And then once we do this, somewhere along the line we'll have salsa.
Now, don't do all the, don't. That's enough.
Just a-
We're gonna taste it and see if we want more. All right, now, add these ingredients over here.
Okay.
We've got some
Ground cinnamon.
cumin. It's
Whatever.
called it looks like cinnamon, but it's cumin. So sprinkle some of that. Good. This is Chili's recipe, loosely. So we're kind of doing our own thing, but that's some, what's that ingredient?
This is garlic salt.
Garlic, salt. Okay. Now
Sugar.
what's next?
Sugar.
Sugar. Put a little bit of sweet in there.
How much?
Maybe one more of those.
Whoops.
Alright, then we've got the heat on. So while it heats up and simmers for about 20 to 30 minutes, we're just going to stir it and keep an eye on it and taste it. So our first batch was so hot that we couldn't even put it in our mouths. And so we added more tomatoes. I wanted it a little bit sweeter, so I added a little more sugar. So here's our final product. It's really good. It's got a little heat to it, but a little sweet too. I'm happy with it. We're gonna can some up now. We've decided to can some of our salsa, and we're gonna seal it with a water bath. But before we can put the cans in to seal them, we have to bring the water to a boil. So we're gonna bring the water to a boil, then we'll put them back in. Some of these actually sealed themselves, but just to be safe, I'm gonna put them back in here and give them a water bath. They need to stay in here covered for 30 minutes while they Welcome to Dirt Road Believer. I've had a lot of fun in the kitchen with my son Coleman lately. We've been having a good time, and the salsa did turn out really good. It was just really way too hot in the beginning. You saw those peppers that he put in there. Today we're talking about maybe some spicy personalities you're about to encounter. We're going back into school. I'm a teacher, so students and teachers are gearing up to go back to school. I've talked to many people who have been working from home, but now they're going back to the workplace. So in my line of work, I teach elementary students. So over the years, I have learned not to take things personally, because kids are going to say anything that comes out to you. I have been told I was having a bad hair day. I've even been complimented like, oh, I love your dress, my Nana has one just like it. Or you know, my favorite is the question, are you pregnant? No, I'm not pregnant, okay? You're just eye level with my stomach, so it must look bigger from down there. Kids will say anything. My son, when he was in first grade, their classes dismissed before the older kids, and so our agreement was, you can come to my classroom while I teach my third graders, but you have to sit in the back and be quiet. So one day he was back there and he was busy. He'd asked for pencil and paper and he was back there just writing. Well, I find out at the end of class that he's been writing encouraging notes to those third graders who were well behaved. And so I was just kind of glancing over the notes before he gave them out. Thank you, Lord, that I looked over those notes, because one of them said, you are, and he spelled P-E-E-S-H-I-T. And I was pretty sure he did not know that word in first grade. And so I was like, so Mac, what does this one say? And he said, you are patient. So sometimes even someone trying to give a compliment may seem like an insult. When I was growing up, oh law, you know that curriculum Scared Straight, where they used to like send kids to prisons and let reformed inmates talk to them? My Scared Straight curriculum was every day of the school year from 6th grade to 10th grade. Because the school bus that I rode, it was like a prison bus, only people weren't handcuffed. I saw fights, and I saw, oh my gosh, the things that I saw. I learned real quick. Feet up, put your knees up on the seat in front of you, because there's no telling what might come past you on the floor. Look out the window, don't say anything. I mean, that was if you wanted to live, that was how you acted on the bus. My cousin and I rode together, and we labeled ourselves at-risk teens, because we felt like our life was at risk every time we set foot on the bus. And the ride one way was an hour and a half. It was ridiculous. So we had a little bit of hope one year, because this little girl named Clara, she was starting her first day of kindergarten. And so our philosophy was, hey, let's bring this girl into the fold, bring her to the good side. We can have somebody to talk to finally. And so Clara gets on the bus, and we get her to sit with us, and you know, we're all in her business about, oh, your first day of school, aren't you so excited? And at the time I was wearing glasses. And let me just give you my best Clara impression. She goes, I'm gonna huff, and I'm gonna woof, and I'm gonna blow them glasses straight off your face. That was the last time we talked to Clara. Clara went to the dark side. But let's talk a little bit about people who seem to come across mean. I think Clara might have been just mean, but I think some people, we take it a little too personally. You know that person walking down the hall that doesn't speak to us, and all of a sudden, what is their problem? Perhaps they were preoccupied. Maybe they were thinking about something else. I know I do that. So not everything that is said to us or not said to us should be taken too personally. Let's look at Romans chapter 15. It says, this is Paul talking, we who are strong ought to bear with the failings of the weak and not to please ourselves. Each of us should please his neighbor for his good, to build him up. For even Christ did not please himself, But as it is written, the insults of those who insult you have fallen on me. For everything that was written in the past was written to teach us, so that through endurance and the encouragement of scriptures we might have hope. The insults of people who insult us fall onto God's ears. So as you are encountering people, and maybe people can seem prickly, think of Paul. Paul was pretty prickly. He said things like he meant them, and you know, he even rebuked Peter right there in front of a lot of people. So sometimes people just have different personalities, and I would much rather get to know the heart of someone and get to know them so I can learn how to take them than to be offended or get my dander up when it was nothing to begin with. They were just saying what they thought or being themselves. So get to know people this year, maybe people you haven't gotten to know before, and you'll kind of better understand where they're coming from. In Romans 15 it says, so that through endurance and the encouragement of the scriptures we might have hope. So as you encounter people whose personalities may be a little you know, hurtful, or maybe you might try to take personally, remember that we need to be encouraged by the scriptures, and Paul talks often about people who refreshed his spirit. So we all have those people in our lives who want to refresh us and give us a fresh word. So I hope that this video has been that for you today, a refreshing to your soul. So please like, share, subscribe, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Until next video, slow down, take the dirt road, believer.